Palmdale, California, USA, drought. One place that has been affected in the United States by drought is the Antelope Valley in California, which includes cities such as Palmdale and Lancaster. The threat at hand is having a period of low rainfall causing a fluctuation in water, leading to the city to have a shortage in water. The region itself is considered vulnerable because with the city's rapid population growth, climate change, prolonged droughts, and natural disasters, there has been a development for watching the water that is available for the city and its residents. On a global level, 2016 was the hottest year on record, and on a state level, there were 7,349 wildfires in California in 2016. The California drought that affected this region was occurring from 2011 to 2017, which was considered one of the longest droughts in state history. With increasing heat like how we all have been experiencing in recent years, along with less rainfall, this leads to areas prone to natural wildfires to have increased wildfire potential, which overall leads to more wildfires. There are 3 sources where this region receives water, all of them also impacted by environmental changes. The water districts have the power to fine any residents who misuse water. In some parts, there are also some communities that had no water at some point. Communities overall have to watch how they use water, as the city has mandatory water restrictions. Locally, the city has been recycling water, having programs for homeowners to remove turf for desert landscapes, also known as cash for grass, and having residents in the community practice personal behaviors to reduce the amount of water consumed per household. Kangerlasik, Greenland, Antarctica. Glacier, sea levels rising. Another area in the world that is being affected by climate change is the city of Kangerlasik, located in Greenland. Kangerlasik is the home to the famous ice cap, also known as the Greenland Ice Sheet. This region is being affected by the world's climate change because of the glaciers and the impact that they have been melted and or damaged. Kangerlussuaq is vulnerable because of the ice cap. This ice cap is also the only one that has a road that leads directly to the glacier. Glaciers / ice caps are now one of the most sensitive environments in the world, and this is due to climate change. The environmental impacts that are affecting this biome is that temperatures are rising, causing this glacier plus other glaciers in other regions to melt. This is overall bad news because when glaciers melt, the runoff from those ice caps increase the ocean water by quite a lot, which then causes sea levels to rise. Hypothetically speaking, if all the glaciers would melt, or even a good-sized portion, the sea level would rise about 200 feet, affecting coastal regions around the world to cover the land near the water. Regions can include countries and cities. Globally, this would decrease our land and affect people in those areas. The world is already at a high population, so if the population were to keep increasing, plus the land would be covered because of the ice caps, this would affect many communities around the world. As a community in Kangerlussuaq, the glacier also acts as a reservoir throughout the summer. When the ice melts, the runoff continues throughout the dried months of the year, which also affects nearby environments within the community. At the moment, the community in Kangerlussuaq is just watching the glacier over a period of time to see the shrinkage of the years. This ice cap currently isn't causing damage directly to its community, but it is definitely important to keep an eye on and try to figure out what ways to reduce global warming before sea levels rise. Although this ice cap isn't causing deep harm to the community and the nearby environment, we must also keep in mind that the melting of the glacier may also cause temperatures in nearby streams, rivers, etc. to change. This can be bad because then this can also have a huge impact to the point where nearby habitats can be harmed due to the change in temperature. There are no other solutions for us to stop the glaciers from melting other than us globally reducing our carbon footprint and more. Belize City, Belize. Coral reefs acidification. Just over the northwest of Mexico and near the east of the Caribbean Sea lies the beautiful country of Belize. The place we are going to focus on in this country is Belize City. Belize City is focused on because of the Mesoamerican Reef, which is about 700 miles long, that goes through Mexico to Honduras. And for about 200 miles, this reef is in the Belizean water. Today, people also refer to this reef as the Belize Barrier Reef, which is the second largest coral reef system. This place is a threat because of all the damage it has gone through from the coastal construction, oil drilling, and climate change along with its effects. Because of these threats, thousands of species occupying the reef were threatened. The environmental impacts that are affecting Belize Barrier Reef is ocean acidification, which can be caused by having an increase in toxic contaminants, and we can factor in rising sea temperatures, which raises acidity levels. This is a cause and effect example because coral reefs can only live in certain pH levels, around 7.7 and 8.4. Anything below or above, the reef will die / bleach. Rising sea temperatures include changes to the reef such as coral bleaching and heat stress. Ocean acidification causes the ocean to have decreased pH level, and this ultimately leads to coral reefs to be damaged. For the Belize City, oil had impacted the community deeply. Back in 2010, an oil well exploded, killing at least a dozen people and dumped 4.9 million barrels, which lasted for 90 days. And although there was no significant impact to Belize, everyone saw the damages that it caused for the environment. As a community, Belize was able to be the first country to ban oil exploration and to remove all territorial waters. As we're trying to have solutions for the coral reefs in the Belize waters, the country had improved the reef's health from a 2.3 to a 2.8 out of 5, which is extremely good. This was done by having Belize's taxes go straight to environmental needs, such as having conservation and ecotourism market that is trending worldwide. With just having special taxes to go towards environmental needs, the reef's health is already on its way to living a better life. Health. Flint, Michigan, USA. Groundwater contamination, environmental injustice towards residents. In Michigan, there is a water crisis going on in the city of Flint. Starting all the way back in 2014, there has been a public health crisis going on. This all started when the city of Flint switched from having drinking water from Detroit's system and converting over to the Flint River to try to save more money. There were reports of inadequate testing of the water, and because of that, residents had broken out in rashes, hair loss, and more. The water of Flint was contaminated by lead. Thousands of children were exposed to water with high amounts of lead in it. In a shorter story, the Flint River had served as an unofficial waste disposal site. Waste from treated and untreated could be found in the river. Agricultural and urban runoff from landfills and more had all been dumped into the Flint River. Even after community complaints, officials had still stated that the water was safe, although the water was contaminated with lead, and the city had to deal with an outbreak of Legionnaires' disease. Even though the contamination was from humans, this still was a huge environmental issue due to the river being a contaminated site. This was just one site that was publicly found to have contamination worldwide because of the climate change and other factors. There are so many places to have groundwater contamination. Nearby environments and communities get affected by this and can lead to cases just like the city of Flint. As a community, they were left with health issues, deaths within the community, and unclean and unsafe water. The solutions for this community were to replace all the lead-contaminated piping and replace it with galvanized steel and add filters to make sure the water is safe for all the residents in the community. Oahu, Hawaii. The island of Oahu, sea surface temperatures rising. The island of Oahu in Hawaii is going through changes due to climate change. The sea surface temperatures all around the world has risen significantly during the last 3 decades, and about 70% of the world's coastlines have been affected. Sea surface temperatures is the water temperature that is close to the ocean's surface. One of the main causes of the rising sea surface temperatures is because of the insane amounts of the greenhouse gases that are being released into the atmosphere. This is caused by the climate change. The temperatures rise from the heat from the atmosphere. As the water warms, water expands. This is also how sea levels rise due to the volume of water also expanding. Oahu's coastline is just one of the islands that is considered vulnerable due to the rise in the sea surface temperatures. Because of the increased change of sea surface temperatures, the rise in ocean temperatures can cause coral reefs near Oahu's coastline to be bleached and eventually die off. This can impact Oahu's community if species within the ocean, if those species need/rely on the coral reefs to survive. If the climate's temperature worldwide keeps rising, then there is a positive correlation for coastal sea surface temperatures to also keep rising. So far, there is not much we can do from stopping sea surface temperatures from rising. However, we can try to reduce our carbon footprint to reduce the amount of greenhouse gases that we produce. Rocky Mountains, Colorado, USA. Butterflies migration changed rising temperatures. The monarch butterfly, also known as Danis pexipus, the butterflies are in danger due to rising temperatures messing up their biological time of determining when they should migrate for the winter. These butterflies typically live anywhere from North America to southern Canada and other parts of the world. However, we will be focusing on the North American group of butterflies. They are the most commonly found living in the Rocky Mountains. Monarch butterflies that live east of the Rocky Mountains need to migrate towards Mexico for winter. Because of the climate change, year by year the temperature for each season is rising significantly, and this is causing harm to animals or insects that rely on temperature change for migration. Here's why. Monarch butterflies heavily rely on weather and climate to determine when they must migrate, when they must reproduce, and when they must hibernate. As yearly temperatures rise, monarch butterflies tend to leave later for their migration start. This is harmful for species because during migration, many butterflies will die before they make it to their destination. Their south migration coming from Canada has been delayed already 6 weeks. The warmer temperatures confuse the butterfly's biological instinct to start heading south. Therefore, by the time they start their migration, the weather is too cold, making the monarch population decrease. If temperatures keep rising, it is highly possible for this population of species to soon become extinct. The monarch butterfly is important to our society because it teaches families about the environment and wildlife. Without this iconic species, we lose that impact that these insects have on us. Currently, there is not much we can do to stop this other than changing our ways and adapting to help reduce the warming of our planet. Thank you.